What is up, everybody? Happy Monday. Happy training camp news. Hope everyone's having a great day wherever you are. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Gonna rip a stream today. Hell of a pick for the thumbnail. Thank you, Tyler. Blaine says thumbnail is definitely top 2 all time, and it's not number 2. Appreciate it, man. It's a picture from when I was in college with my roommate's girlfriend's dog, Marley. Really cute dog. Got a couple guests that I'm lining up. Excited for them. Going to have on Justin McMahon. I'm going to have him on tomorrow. Going to have on Tanner Tolbert of The Bachelor on Wednesday. Just signed up Dan Zach, who is the reigning WSOP winner of the year. He's a fellow best ball degenerate. That should be a really fun stream. We're gonna fire off next week, and in the process of booking a couple other guests for the week. As always, guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're enjoying this content. It is free for you to help me out, and it really does help me out. Today, we're going to be ripping a Best Ball Mania 3 stream. Going to click that button in 20 seconds. So if you want to get in this draft with me, time that on your end. Am I counting to 20? No, just going to guesstimate it. Once the puppy drops, the big puppy, going to definitely rip a couple streams with me doing a bunch of drafts at the same time. And then just running through the rest of the streaming schedule roughly. I think it's been 20 seconds. Davis and I are doing our drafters on Friday this week. 2 more. Pat and I are doing a stream on Thursday, and in the process of booking a time with CSU, Ram, or Pete as Peter. Pulled the 110. Thanks, guys, for helping me fill this up, although the BBM 3s, they always fill. We are in camp news season. Woo, 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 woo. Some of the camp news I've been pretty hip to is with the Buffalo Bills. There's a lot of news with the Buffalo Bills. Hashtag our Bills. With Isaiah McKenzie's getting a lot of run. James Cook is doing good. Khalil Shakir is doing good. Someone we're not hearing too much about is Jamison Crowder. I got to dive into that news. With it being really early in camp, my guess is that you're going to lean towards the veterans on your team. So it's to be expected that Isaiah McKenzie would start over Crowder at this point in the season. As always, if you guys have questions, comments, concerns, please drop them in the chat. It really helps these streams rip off. I was just watching our friend Peter Overzet. People are still asking him about chess stream, so maybe Pete and I will get one of those going soon. I think we should, At worst, we'll get a chaotic hand and brain stream together. That would be fun. And yeah, I've reached out to some other people in the poker world, people that I'm aware of, at least, to see if they would like to do a best ball stream together. Gonna be interested to see. I think we're gonna start seeing players' ADPs really shift if we get even the smallest bit of news, like Jamison Crowder. He's probably gonna draw. He's probably gonna flip with McKenzie or something. I don't even know. Again, as is typical, we gave people no heads up that we're doing the stream, but that's cool. Let me get to this in a second here. Blaine, after my pick, he's asking about James Robinson's health and how that impacts ETN's ADP. We're going to take Stephon Diggs on our team, but we'll auto draft that so we have more time. Yeah, I don't know. It's something I want to follow closely. Like, I think ETN definitely got a bit expensive. Like, it didn't really make sense for him to jump where he did, although I did think he would land there. Um, I saw something on Twitter about people saying that they want James Robinson to be the passing down back because of his blocking ability. That's really bad news if that's true. Um, kind of surprised that he's this healthy, but I think he's looking good and he's always been a very good player. So I don't know. Maybe ETN drops around. Maybe he just goes back to where he was. It's definitely something to monitor as drafters. I had a ton of ETN from earlier, so I still think I have some shares from when he was a third and fourth round pick, but definitely not anywhere close. Okay. With this next pick, vote in the chat. Who do you want me to take? If anyone gets a vote in here before the clock is done, I might take that player, unless it's Joe Mixon. We are not taking Joe Mixon. We could take Saquon, Aaron Jones, Mike Evans, or Debo. Let's go with Saquon. Saquon was the first one from our guy, Brady O'Donnell, the president of my college. Shout out, Brady. I just don't have that many Barkley Diggs starts, so want to get some of those. Definitely have a lot of Diggs Debo. Definitely have a lot of Diggs Andrews. I got some Diggs Evans. I got some Diggs Jones, but we're getting a little bit of Saquon there. People also got some Mixon and Evans in there. Fuck it. Saquon legendary season. Hey, it's in the realm, brother. It's in the realm of possibilities. Make sure you are getting hydrated with me on this Monday. It is key. Planning to keep up these streams, however, might be going to Hollywood, Florida for they got a poker series coming up. So I think I'm going to go there this week and play some of their events. But with it being Florida and not Vegas, I'll still be able to stream, although it will be from a hotel room or something. I'm going to try to book that today before it gets crazy expensive. And yeah, maybe the schedule just gets a little bit more whatever. Poker's nice because you rarely have to show up on time. You can visit my grandparents there. I don't think so, Chris. Probably not. Although I'm sure they're very lovely people. Hollywood, Florida, for those who don't know, is right by Miami. So pretty cool. Pretty nice place. Pretty normal draft. If I was trying to squeeze out my maximum EV, by the way, probably would not be drafting right now. Just because, give it a week, I think we'll have a lot more camp news. Blaine saying, wow, highest I've seen Javonte. Yeah, I don't think it's that, okay. I don't think it's that unusual where he went, though. Now, there is some. The thing is, you could get Saquon and Javonte in the late third for a couple weeks in the season. So that's a thing, but it's not too big a deal. Dalvin is definitely creeping up. People are deciding that he should be going here. We would have taken Josh if he made it back to us, but no big deal. ETN, wow. Twin takes fantasy football. Not a believer. The high stakes sites like FFBC, they love themselves some ETN. Like ETN and Breece Hall, not sure we can really say that ETN should definitely be going ahead of him. Brady, a Broncos fan, saying Melvin Gordon potentially there. But the thing about Javonte is before Melvin Gordon signed, he was like a top 6 pick in fantasy football. And so, um, you know, even if Melvin Gordon's a guy, when all the money is won, the playoff weeks, that's when he should matter less. Man, I have so much Marquise Brown. Let's just add another running back here. Kind of want to take Breece. We'll take James Conner. I have just so little James Conner. I'm not that into him, but some people I respect are. Like if he stays healthy, should have a great year. Dig Saquon such a smash, Tyler says. Anthony says Chip Slarky is multi-tabling. Yeah, it's not too hard once you've done a couple. Do I know how Peterson's running backs usually perform? Pretty good from my memory, But then again, like it's not a perfect 1-to-1. Different quarterbacks, etc. Maybe we're gonna go real high T and grab another running back. Something we have not been doing. Give us ourselves a little bit of a hyper fragile start. Looking at the room's hammering running backs. Okay, so Marquise is gone. Fuck it. Let's take Breece Hall. Kyle Pitts correlates with the Arizona Week 17, but I just want some Breece Hall in my portfolio. And with us having 3 running backs here, all different bye weeks, that's nice. Going to really push that 4th running back, and we're definitely going to stop at 4 or 5 running backs. And Kyle Pitts is like someone I want to be clicking because I do think there's a year, like minimum, there'll be a year or two he breaks fantasy football, but it's just hard to see it. Hard to see it. Passing up on Gabe. Yeah, AJ, I am being a little disciplined today. We do have our Bills shirt on, though. So we got Diggs. Hey, Brendan. What's up, brother? Looking sharp in that profile picture. What's your tip, man? Brendan McKenna from high school. Fun fact, Brendan McKenna, high school wide receiver, coming in at 6'3", 215 pounds. He was a beast in high school. I'm sure he's got like a 5'4", 40 at best nowadays. Maybe he can update the chat. I posted my link on my LinkedIn, so I'm sure this is why some friends of the channel are tuning in. Miss you too, brother. Hope all is well. I know you're killing it. Kyle Pitts in the 4th, don't see that often. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. It's like, do I really think Kyle Pitts is going to smash out Kittle and Waller? Maybe. I don't know. Oh, here's the tip. I missed it. Running back utilization is decreasing every year. You should invest in quarterbacks and wide receivers. Thank you, Brendan. Thank you. That's usually how we build. But when you build 150 teams, it's okay to get some robust running back. And, Diggs is drawing very live to be the wide receiver 1 this year. Like, I think it's a copycat league, and Diggs could definitely get some slot usage with like Knox and Davis on the end. It's kind of hard because who is let's say Davis or Diggs gets hurt as a perimeter wide receiver. Who are the Bills going to trot out there? My guess is it would be Shakir as an outside guy. The other thing I saw a little bit of news is that like they were throwing slot wide receivers on the outside, like playing Crowder in the X, which is interesting. Yeah, see this room not feeling tight ends. Waller and Kittle fall into the 5th. As is typical, the 5th round, typically a wide receiver round. And with us going the 3 early running backs, we'll probably push our quarterback until late. If you have read some impactful camp news, drop it in the chat. Let me know. Or if you have questions about camp news. Gypsy Lark got a nice Chargers stat going on. The Josh Allen drafter did get Gabe Davis. Good for him. Lamar took Bateman. Wondering if you guys are hearing that. We got some commotion outside of the doors. Yeah, so what Billy Kraft did here, not good. Taking J.K. Dobbins with having 3 running backs. You're just guaranteeing that you don't have a starting player in your lineup. Now, if they stop at 4, it's probably fine, but let's see who makes it to us. We are on the clock. We need some points at wide receiver or tight end. I guess it's like de facto we have to kind of take Mooney here. I would have liked Amon-Ra instead. Obviously, I like Godwin, but he's not going to start. So Mooney, at worst, a great deep threat. Should have plenty of spike weeks. Plays Detroit week 17. Eric said after Pete's wide receiver piss boy stream, this draft is heavenly to be in. Yeah, I mean, if I had anticipated that I was going to be with a bunch of robust RBers, I would have gone more wide receiver heavy, but whatever. Like I like the squad. We got our flex filled with RB. It is half point PPR, so keep in mind I draft on a bunch of different sites. So if you're gonna go RB heavy, half point PPR sites such as Underdog are the sites to do it. Got some trolls in the chat. What's up, Saga Pants? Okay. Now, what do we do here? Man, it's a real. I think we're gonna take Gage. We're gonna take Gage. We want the points early, and I have plenty of Godwin in this range. So, and I have like maybe I want to say 15% Gage right now, but if I had checked 2 months ago, I had like 40% Gage when he was going in like the hundreds and the 110s. There's a lot of players that I have a lot of that have risen in ADP. There's also a couple misses in my portfolio. So Gage obviously should have the weeks to start. And then, he can still have the weeks once Godwin comes back, as we saw Antonio Brown and Mike Evans and Godwin and Gronk all were getting the work there. Gage over Thielen. Yeah, baby. I wouldn't take one single draft as like law, Michael, this is a good question. Jeff Wilson said that the number 2 to start camp. Is that a vet move or is that worrying for Tyrion Davis-Price? I think it's something we want to monitor. Jeff Wilson is a guy I've always liked. Had a lot of him last year. He was on my winning team. And I'm not sure, honestly. Like we're all guessing about Tyrion Davis-Price. The draft capital is there. Jeff Wilson has been solid, not spectacular. So, like I'm still drafting Tyrion, but definitely something to monitor. Yeah, and I like Thielen. Someone asked Gage over Thielen. Like I like Thielen, but dude is like 33. Don't mind me just checking some stuff out. Probably going to try to add some wideouts in this range. Listen to Nick Underhill, the Saints reporter on the TR podcast with Levitan and Silva. Didn't really he's optimistic on Michael Thomas, but didn't really clear that much up. Next, the wide receivers are a little dry. This is typically a quarterback round 2. But we'll grab Michael Thomas. There's like a bunch of quarterbacks that I like here. And, we have to say Michael Thomas's upside is still really big. Underhill said that his prediction was, I think he said like 1,100 to 1,200 yards, which if true is a smash. Evan Silva was not in agreement with that. He said he would do well to get to 1,000. But, there's a lot of optimism that Michael Thomas is going to return. I would have liked to pair him with Chris Olave, but Chris Olave noticeably more expensive on Underdog. And yeah, we filled our wide receiver starters and got our backup flex now with us having 4 wideouts and 3 running backs. So if you, for every single team, started your teams with 3 running backs and 4 wide receivers, that's probably fine. I like Lance more than Brady, but earlier in the season, Brady was like a 6th, 7th. I think we're going to take Brady to pair with Gage. And got ourselves an elite quarterback. Yeah, Eric, I mean, you can't expect sharp drafters to start running back and keep on running backing. No, but I also want to do that for many situations. Yeah, I mean, honestly, the NFC is not that good compared to the AFC, and everything the Saints have done leads us to believe that they think they'll be good. Now, calling a spade, he is a Saints beat reporter who also runs a site that, people subscribe to. And, so you're not going to sell a lot of subscriptions if you're a negative Nancy about the Saints. At the same time, I'm with him. I think the Saints, I've always been a Jameis guy, not off the field, but on the field. Look, I don't care if you throw a pick or two if you're giving me 300 yards and a bunch of touchdowns, and a coach may be bad at you. Like, anyone who remembers the Saints New England game from last year where Jameis getting tackled and throws in the red zone, he's getting tackled and he throws the ball to Marcus Callaway, and Marcus Callaway comes down with a miracle touchdown. And James Cook went. I would have liked to take him. That's what I was looking at earlier. As he's getting tackled, he throws, and Sean Payton, you could see Jameis comes off the field and Sean Payton mouths to him "What the fuck, dude?" Sean Payton was mad that they scored because you want your quarterback generally to throw away, just throw the ball away and play another down when that happens. But as fantasy players, we want them going for it. All right, a fumble, a pick, whatever. That's -1, -2, whatever. Touchdowns, 4 points. So, team Jameis on the field, and a little bit of videos I've seen of him throwing balls, whatnot, looks good, man. I've always been a Jameis guy. It's Billy Kraft going to 1-5-2-1. Amen. All the power to you. All right. We're going to definitely take Robert Woods here. The last guy we can say could be his team's number one without any injuries. I guess maybe Garrett Wilson could. I would like to go Burks over Woods, but, I could see Woods and Tannehill having a really good connection. And so looking at this team, we should have 4 wide receiver ones. Which when you start with 3 running back one, it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. Let's see, we are at pick number 111 in the 10th round. People are gobbling up the wideouts. Yeah, wide receiver gets noticeably ugly around, let's see, 130, 135. Just checking to see what might be available to me. I think we're going to grab Ertz here. A little negative correlation with Connor and Ertz as far as like week to week, but positive season long. Ertz is like the last elite-ish tight end to me, where he's not I think he's probably much better on PPR, but could have a really big role weeks 1 through 6, and then even once Hopkins comes back, should do well. Yeah, Jason, don't pay attention to the projected points because I don't know how it projects the points. What I will tell you is, like if you draft 5 quarterbacks, you're going to have the most projected points, and obviously your team's not very good. Didn't get the notification in time. Don't worry, Rick. That's probably my fault. We'll have plenty of streams in the future. And what I would advise is never leave your computer. Actually, just keep my YouTube page open the whole time, and then you'll never miss one of my streams. Bonus, go home, create 50 new YouTube accounts, and subscribe to my channel. No, just kidding. Don't do that. I'm sure that can get me banned from terms of service or whatever. The running back round is around 10. All these guys go. Could have grabbed one to be done at running back, but we're going to push it. And yeah, I would have preferred one of these guys over Ertz, but whatever. So we got our starting lineup filled by the 10th. Kind of a balanced build. 3 running backs should be good. We have no week 17 correlation yet, but the week 17 correlation we do have is Tampa beats up on a bad Panthers team. Arizona beats up on a bad Falcons team. The Jets run wild on a bad Seahawks defense. Stuff like that. Appreciate it, Rick. Let's check in on our Billy Kraft. Billy Kraft drafting the team of heroes. Like if this guy can survive only having 2 wide receivers, if he can survive Godwin and Godwin comes back, his team actually will do probably really good. Like you would think this team is dead on arrival, and it's not going to shock me if Billy Kraft ends up with like 3 or 4 wide receivers total. I think people have to decide what's good for their bankroll, etc. Like, it's not something I would do, but I totally understand why people wanted to max it. I think the people bitching about the contest filling too quick and them running out of slows and whatnot need to go outside and touch some grass because obviously they can make more contests, etc. Um, tough range. We're gonna grab one of these guys. What pick number are we at? 130. I'm gonna grab Madison and be done at running back. I like Rojo too, but I got a lot of Rojo. And yeah, like I wanted to double up wide out here, but as long as I can get one of these dudes, I'm cool with it. Whew. Sweating there. Happy to get Jarvis. Setting up a Saints mini. And Jarvis and Michael could like cannibalize each other, or if Michael's slow to start, it could be Landry then Thomas. You know, like I like adding, I like doubling up Saints wide receivers. I do think the Saints will be passing the ball more this year. Yeah, I mean, Joey, that's fine. Like that's why some people wanted to max it because the rake was so so low. But like, I don't know. Honestly, I don't care about 10% rake for best ball when your time horizon is so long. And again, like 5K is just not 5K in January is awesome. I would gladly take that, but it's not moving the needle. Yeah, that'll be great. Exactly. Yeah, there's plenty of like cheap. Exactly. There's a $2 contest on Drafters. Um and Drafters has great UI too. They don't have the draft board on mobile yet, but that's coming. So for us, starting with 3 running backs, I like my wide receiver core. You know, like a couple guys who are old, arguably on the edge of dust, but could definitely do it. With Ertz, could go 2 or 3 tight ends. With Brady, most likely stopping at 2 quarterback, almost certainly stopping at 4 running backs. We are in the 13th round. As always, guys, thanks for tuning in. I'm almost at 600 subscribers. Please help me get there. Really trying to get to 1,000. Hopefully, I can get to that by the time the NFL season starts. Definitely going to be firing heavy at DFS this year. So, not sure what this channel will become once NFL starts and best ball's over. Definitely going to have some long form videos here soon. And probably going to try, I'm thinking maybe I'll like record my process for my DK lineups. Gonna fire at some of those high buy-in milli makers, small fields. Hopefully run Pierre Bink one. I think I'll fire like once at the Thunderdome, maybe. Why not? We're firing at poker events where I certainly don't have that big an edge compared to football. Not gonna do that, Ivan. We are at pick number 154. Let's grab Jameis, be done at quarterback there. We have 2 Saints wide receivers, so not going to grab a falling like, I don't know. I still think Crowder is fine. But probably not. I think he's going to drop a couple rounds, so I'm not going to grab him yet. And this looks like a good range for us to grab another tight end for our team. So Brady and Jameis, 2 pocket passers, but 2 guys who can easily pass the 300 yards. 2 to 3 touchdowns every week. So Noah Fant correlates a little bit with Brees Hall. I think I'm going to do Everett, though. Just take the tight end attached to Herbert. Looking at these numbers, let's say he goes up to 600 yards with the Chargers, 6 touchdowns. That adds 20, 32. He's getting into like the 130 range. That's pretty good. And I have a lot of other Chargers and not as much Everett, so it's just pretty nice when you can grab tight ends and attach the good quarterbacks. Don't even know what this means. Are you drafting high upside handcuff quarterbacks? I guess a guy like Tyler Huntley qualifies, and the answer is probably not, because unless I totally whiff on the quarterback. Again, quarterback, like, this is not the position. People try to get so cute with quarterback. Quarterback is not going to separate you from the field, even if you hit on your thin bet. My biggest early round stand is DeAndre Swift. Think he should be a first round pick. Thoughts, Liam? And who's your guy? I like Swift. Definitely have quite a bit of him. I guess in that range, it's Diggs is my highest exposure. But again, the first round this year, I'm not making as many stands in the first round, other than being down on Henry and a little bit down on Cook. But I have plenty of exposure to, and down on Adams. But I kind of want to add to that. We reserve the right to change our mind. What positions separate you from the field? Running back, wide receiver, tight end. All the skill positions. Basically, if you hit on a thin bet and that person can post 30 points, at quarterback, think about it. Let's say you hit this 30-point quarterback. No one has them. Okay, great. Someone else is playing a 25-point quarterback, a 20-point quarterback. If you hit at a low-owned running back, wide receiver, tight end, and you score 30 points at that position, someone else is trotting out 10 points. You're adding 20 points to separate from the field. Did Pittman go early? Yeah, I mean, I'm not there, but maybe he's a Colts fan. Maybe he's trying to get a little different. I don't know. Let's check in on our robust running back squad. Okay, so he hit wide receiver. And guys who could do it. So I don't hate it. Don't hate Billy's team. Something else I do a lot in best ball and DFS is I look at the roster after and I try add up the points I'm expecting on a week-to-week basis. Okay, let's say I get 25 points from the quarterback position. Let's come back to that thought. We're gonna add wide receiver, and let's grab McKenzie. A lot of buzz on him. He's our guy. Second bill. Way above ADP, but who cares? I'm gonna get back to that thought in a bit. Yeah, so looking at my running backs. Okay, let's say I'm expecting 20 points each year. So that's 25 plus 60, that's 85 a week. Let's say I'm guessing 10 points a week at my tight end. That's 95. And let's guess for the 3 wide receivers, I'm expecting 3 guys to put up 20. So add 60 there. That's around 155 points a week. That's a really good team if true. Obviously, those numbers are really fudged, but if you can't tell yourself a story like that, looking at it, and I think it's just a good process to do with our teams. All right, okay, great. So no wide receivers went. It's between these 3 people for me. I think I'm going to go with Curtis of this group. I just don't have really any other correlation to go with it. Tight end, we're not doing that. So yeah, we'll go with Curtis. Couple guys with week 14 buys, but whatever. So we have a 2-4-8-2 build. Honestly, the team feels complete already, so that's a great place to be in. Might add a fifth running back. Definitely going to add a third tight end, but probably go 2-4-9-3 or 2-4-8-4, adding double tight ends here. I agree, Joey. That feels strong. I've talked a lot about this best ball moderate, about drafting players that have risen. Um, I think your instincts are right, but it's I definitely don't think Gage and MVS have gotten too expensive from where they were. And the way to do it smart is if you're going to take a player that has risen, take some players that have fallen. So looking at my team, I took a riser and Gage. However, I have some fallers in Michael Thomas and Brady from where they were, right? So the contexture of your whole team is what you should be thinking about, not an individual player. Now, that being said, there are some round costs that just get so prohibitive that I won't do it. Darrell Henderson last year was an example. He went from a 10th round pick to a 4th round pick. That is wildly different, right? That is hugely different. And there weren't that many other significant risers, fallers compared to this year, I would say. There's been a lot more. So it's a year-to-year thing. It's a whole roster thing. You should not just be looking at one single pick, either for riser or fall. Like James Conner, he used to go in this range. So I have a faller on this team, right? I'm sure I have some other risers and fallers that I'm just not perfectly remembering. Doing what I did with McKenzie here too, is a way to get different, I would say. Like just taking one player way above ADP, and I'm doing it in the later rounds where it's like less likely to bury me, but it just allows you to get different contextures versus going like Will Fuller, Samuel McKenzie, which is like definitely a possible combo. Okay, we are going to take Taysom. Oh wow, Hamler's still here. All right, we're gonna take Hamler. I lied. With Hamler falling this fall, we're gonna take him, and then I was gonna go if Hamler wasn't here. I was gonna take 2 tight ends, which is another tight end I like too. But we'll see if Taysom makes it back to us. No big deal if not. Because there's another tight end I like. But really happy to add Hamler here as well. So like what this actually did is I was mentioning how I got different. I'm actually not that different right now because if you look at the picks, like if I just took Hamler where McKenzie is and I took McKenzie where I took Hamler, like that's happened a bunch, if that makes sense. But I wanted the falling Hamler. Because I still think he's drawing live to be way more than what he has been in the past. Like high draft capital, explosive guy. All right, great. And we'll take Taysom. Kind of like taking Taysom with these Jameis teams because it's like I can win by it being Jameis to Taysom. I can win by it being Taysom to Jarvis. I can win by being Taysom to Michael Thomas. I can win by being Taysom to Taysom. And like literally an 18th round pick on a guy who could break fantasy football for the sites that list him at tight end is pretty nice. So we finished up with a 2-4-9-3, a hyper fragile build. Some fun running backs and some younger guys with Hall and Barkley. Definitely, like questions about whether they're going to get injured again, but who cares? Two quarterbacks I really like. I really like the Jameis with Elite combo. makes me comfortable to stop at 2. A wide receiver core who could definitely do it. Like, I'm bullish on Curtis Samuel's chances. Um, Michael Thomas could come back. Gage should be solid. Woods could do it. Diggs is drawn live to be wide receiver 1. Mooney should have plenty of spikes. Hamler can spike. Tight end group should be like a dependable week-to-week guy. Should spike with touchdowns. Could break fantasy football. And so, yeah, really like this team. We're going to name it. If you're in this draft with me and you want me to take a look at your squad, I can do that real quick. But other than that, we're going to sign out for today. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a comment. I think all that engagement helps me out. And yeah, just giving you some free content. I like the Moss pick here as a low owned guy, but I think he's going to start going. I think he's going to start drafting a bit more. We're going to name this 725 Stream Hyper Fragile RB. 106 if you want a sauce. We'll take a look real quick, Eric, and then we're going to say goodbye. So 106 was Chipsy Lark. Solid squad. Not that saucy, but I mean, some gross guys, but they could do it. All right, guys, have a great day. I will see you. We're back tomorrow doing a stream with Justin McMahon. Going to put out a tweet with my streaming schedule for this week as far as I know. Have a great day. Tell your family you love them. Peace.